We are continuing our coverage of the Garnet fire burning in the Sierra Nevada. Crews making good progress on the eastern boundary and now shifting focus to the north as the fire approaches Shaver Lake.
We have bulldozers, engines, hotshot crews, hand crews. We're using every tool in the toolbox to try to pin this fire down.
And that includes aerial operations. How helicopters flying at night could be a game changer in containing this fire.
Any help from the weather for firefighters battling all these fires around the state? Well, yes and no. We do have cooler temperatures and a chance of rain, but also a chance of lightning. Details coming up in your Great Day forecast.
Today marks 30 days since President Trump ordered federal troops onto the streets of Washington, D.C. The changes the president could order today. And look at the impact on crime and tourism in the city.
Plus, a federal court rules a Federal Reserve governor can keep her job for now. What that means for the president's push for a rate cut.
And Central Valley veterans set to return home after an emotional trip to the nation's capital. When and where you can give them the hero's welcome they deserve tonight.
You're watching Fox 26, and now, Great Day.
Oh, we begin this hour with a live look outside right now. We are tracking the fires that are burning in Fresno County, plus possible storms. I know that Justin was talking about that possibility yesterday. We may see that materialize, but that is not the only thing that has been catching our attention in the skies, because take a look at this video in case you happen to be up at about 3:43. I don't know if you saw, there's a bright flash. Okay, this is video.
We're going to have to freeze it.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to.
Right there.
Okay, there you go. You just saw it right there. And there. I don't know what it was.
We're still asking. You've been requesting information.
I reached out to the American Meteor Society to see if that is a nonprofit. I don't know if it's run entirely by volunteers, which means it could take a while for me to get an answer. But there was a bright flash in the sky. I happened to look down at my phone. 3:43. I thought it was green. Some people thought it was blue. Byron, who's one of our photojournalists, was driving in from Lemoore. He saw it on his way in. Jeff, one of our executive producers, says that he saw it on the northwest part of town. I saw it coming off of the 180. It was seen for at least.
And I was on the road at the same time, completely oblivious to it.
I thought it was lightning at first, and that was the first thing I asked you this morning was, hey, you said there was a possibility of lightning.
There is, but it's really that's for the mountains, not the valley. You know, I mean, I'm not going to rule it out. However, my guess on that whole thing was SpaceX, but we don't know for sure.
There is a launch apparently that is set for later today, but we haven't, I mean, we've seen things like this. It's not one of those where it's going to be that trail you're going to see, not just a quick flash.
Yeah, but there were, in the past, there have been some reports that the Starlink satellites, you know, you occasionally see the lines, and sometimes when they're skirting across the sky, there's a bright green flash. It's been reported in the past, so that's why I was guessing that.
If you saw it and you got a better shot than we did, please do share it with us.
And we'll let you know if we find anything out, and vice versa, right?
Yep.
All right, we got to get on with the show here and get to the forecast here and show you what's going on. We're going to conspiracy theorize about that green flash all day until we get some answers here for you. In the meantime, 65 currently right now, and the wind speeds are at 9 miles an hour currently, and the dew point's at 57. Here's the rest of the day. Check it out here. Yeah, believe it or not, there is a chance of rain. I'm saying there's a chance, a 10% chance for us at noon. Otherwise, it's going to be mostly sunny to partly cloudy today. 68 at 10, 74 at noon, 81 at 5 o'clock. So yes, there are other chances of rain in the valley today. I'll let you know where to expect that. Also, we'll track the storms for the Sierra Nevada mountains, and we'll see what's going on with that smoke from the Garnet fire.
Day 17 of the Garnet fire today burning in eastern Fresno County. And fire crews continue to work around the clock to make progress on this massive fire. Now, according to the latest update, the fire has burned more than 56,000 acres and is 15% 98% contained. That's only about 1,000 more acres compared to this time yesterday morning. Crews credit the progress to the cooler weather and humid air over the last couple of days. A fire analyst for the Forest Service says the moisture in the air is keeping some grassy areas from sparking. One issue that is giving crews trouble, though, is the amount of dead, dry timber in the foothills, especially to the north of the fire near McKinley Grove.
It looks like somebody kicked over 30 years of project pile work. There's just lumber everywhere, and that lumber's drier than anything that you're going to find in Home Depot. It's drier than kiln-dried lumber. The $1,000 fuel moisture, the amount of moisture that's in the logs that are, I don't know, bigger than a piece of firewood, it's right around 8%. So that's critically dry for us. And so as those spots get established, they're able to get established and start basically campfires. And that amount of heat and energy it puts off is very difficult to suppress. And those were popping up all over the place, so especially up on the north end for the McKinley Grove.
Now, the other issue driving the line is the steep mountain landscape. Fire analyst Kevin Montoya, who we just heard from, says fire burning at the bottom of steep slopes is like holding a lit match upside down. The fire naturally travels up. Crews are fighting back by starting fires at the top of the slope so that the fire does not become as intense as it gets to the top.
And we're taking you live now to China Peak, where conditions are quiet right now. That is a look at the landing area about 15 miles north of the fire line. It was, however, a much different story yesterday. Take a close look now. The ski resort was busy as firefighters from all over the state rolled in to set up camp. Resort owner Tim Cohey estimates more than 500 firefighters and their equipment are on site. This is part of a massive effort to protect communities north of the fire.
We know this fire is trying to progress to the north. We know the values at risk that are out there, Shaver Lake, Toll House. We want to keep this fire as far away from those communities as possible.
Officials say they hope to have that fire fully contained in 14 days. Additional crews are expected to arrive over the next couple of days to support their ongoing efforts. We're told within the next 7 days, temperatures will be cooling down and increasing relative humidity, which will increase the amount of moisture on the ground and also decrease ignition probability, meaning new fires will be less likely to start.
Now, smoke from that fire is making its way across the Sierra Nevada. It's impacting Yosemite. You're looking at the High Sierra camera in Yosemite, about 8,000 feet up. Yeah, pretty view of Half Dome, which you can see right now, but it is, or at least in this shot, other times it was obscured totally by all that smoke. Now, fire crews continue to use air attacks to try to contain the fire. A little later in the show, we will hear why night flying operations could be a game changer despite their difficulty. Plus, we'll hear how an eco-friendly fire retardant is helping crews make progress on the ground.
We're also tracking the salt fire that is burning in West Fresno County. At last word, more than 25,000 acres have burned, but containment is now up to 50%. That's up from 40% this time yesterday. Evacuation orders have been downgraded as firefighters make progress on that wildfire burning near the Monterey-Fresno County line. More than 1,500 personnel are assigned to that fire as crews are still working to strengthen the containment lines. In an update overnight, CAL FIRE reports that a cold front has moved into the area, bringing clouds, increasing humidity, and even providing a chance of rain. Containment lines are holding, and CAL FIRE says it expects no further growth to this fire.
Our time is 5:08, and yeah, so the smoke. Here's what's happening with it this hour. Obviously, again, the heavy stuff situated where the Garnet fire is burning, but that'll pick up and change as the day goes on here. You can kind of see things start taking a more direct approach to the northeast again, kind of like it did yesterday by about 1 o'clock this afternoon here. And again, likely holding in that area because of all the onshore flow, keeping a lot of that smoke out of the San Joaquin Valley here, at least for the next couple of days. There is, however, still a dense smoke advisory going on up there because of the Garnet fire and all the smoke from it here. Same areas as before, same visibility as it's been all week, about down to a quarter of a mile in some places there. You saw how thick it was there in Yosemite Valley, even thicker in some of these other places here, Lower Sierra, Kings Canyon National Park, Upper San Joaquin River, all the same places that have been affected by this, continuing to do so today. This dense smoke advisory in effect until 11 o'clock this morning. And you can kind of see the pattern here. that onshore flow continues in that same direction here, and that's where you're seeing all that smoke go to the east there. But we do have some troughing that is happening, been happening the last couple of days. And that's helping that cool air get in. A little bit of low pressure, though, that's also creating some disturbances for us in the valley here. So we'll see some cooler temperatures and chances of rain, not just in the Sierra Nevada mountains, but in the North Valley. So check it out. By about later this morning, 11:30 there, things pick up there. Foothills mountains heavier high up top there. But look at how the area expands here by 2 o'clock this afternoon. Some of that light rain getting into the valley floor, some of the eastern portions of the valley there. We are looking at the North Valley getting about a 20 to 30% chance of rain. In Fresno, we're looking at about a 10% chance of rain today. So it'll definitely be a little bit cloudy out there. We'll see the sun here and there, but otherwise the heaviest rains are going to be up top. There was also about a 30% chance of lightning happening up there too. So while the cooler temperatures, the higher humidity, and the chances of rain are welcome for firefighters, the lightning is not, and there are chances of that happening each afternoon as we get into the weekend. Same area tomorrow there, Sierra Nevada mountains, for these chances of rain, thunder, and lightning here through the weekend here. Well, as we get into the weekend, that is. All right, so humidity is up today. That's a good help to firefighters. We're at 62% today on our humidity. That's fairly high there, and lowest it'll be 39%. So yeah, fairly high. And then tonight we're going to get up to 70% on our humidity. The dew point's at 57. And the next few days, so yeah, we've had this cooling trend, and now we're going to work our way out of it, but staying below normal. 82 is our high today. 84 tomorrow. 88 Friday. Yeah, temperatures staying below normal here as we make our way towards the weekend there. Yeah, 10% chance of rain there, about 5-10 mile-an-hour wind speeds for you as well. Next, we'll take a look at your highs and lows across the rest of the San Joaquin Valley for your Wednesday.
We have new information this morning about a fiery crash that brought traffic to a standstill on Highway 99 in Madera County yesterday. We brought you this as breaking news live as it was happening yesterday morning. Traffic came to a stop after two cars crashed into a big rig that made a quick stop. Officers say the drivers of the two cars could not slow down in time. All three vehicles involved caught fire. 2 people were taken to the hospital with minor to moderate injuries. CHP spokesperson Mike Salas reminds drivers, please leave plenty of time and space to slow down, especially during heavy commute times.
Obviously, we know morning commutes can be quite treacherous at times. Obviously, this is a prime example. If you're driving at speeds faster than you should be going, which is typically the speed limit or below, these things can happen in an instant. Obviously, the big rig was able to see that stop traffic and had stopped, as well as other traffic. But unfortunately, the 2 vehicles coming up from behind either weren't paying attention or were distracted.
Now, we're told the driver of the big rig was not hurt and that the truck was empty. No hazardous materials were involved in the fire.
In the North Valley, the Merced County Sheriff's Office is urging people with small pets living in the Winton area to keep them indoors at night. That's because there have been several cases of 7 medium-sized dogs attacking cats and other small animals. You see the pack right there. They say most of these have happened at night in the Winton Way and Walnut areas. Deputies say they have several traps in the area. They're trying to find the owners of the dogs. If you have any information, you're asked to reach out to the Merced County Animal Services Bureau. And in the South Valley, 5 people are now facing charges after deputies say they stole Valencia oranges from an orchard in Tulare County. We're talking at least $1,000 worth of them. Sheriff's deputies say they served a search warrant at a home in Lindsay on Monday where they found evidence related to the theft. Deputies also say that witnesses identified the 3 accused thieves, 2 adult men and a teenager who were seen stealing the oranges. Investigators also learned that 2 more people drove up in a pickup truck to load up those stolen oranges. All 5 people were arrested. The truck was towed and the stolen oranges were recovered. If you have any more information, call the Tulare County Sheriff's Office at the number that's there on your screen.
The man accused of killing a Ukrainian refugee on a commuter train in North Carolina is now charged with a federal crime. A look at his surprising criminal history coming up. The federal order putting troops on the streets of Washington, D.C. set to expire today, just as the president ramps up crime enforcement in other American cities. Why the Illinois governor is calling out President Trump for a lack of communication. Live look now at the Fresno Yosemite International Airport. It is 5:14 and 66 degrees outside right now. Nice light breeze out there as well. You can find new headlines and the weather forecast on your screen all morning long, even through the commercial break.
Hi, I'm Monty Torres of Fox 26 News on YouTube. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel, where we have loads of great content for you to choose from. And while you're here, why not click on the subscribe button right here? That way you can stay in touch with all the latest breaking news, everything news related within the Central Valley. And thank you for watching.